I was actually looking for something. What's the longest a court can take to pronounce a judgment after reserving it? A month? 3 months? Or maybe 6? Well, in a case that recently reached the Supreme Court, litigants were waiting for years. And what the Supreme Court discovered was serious enough to trigger nationwide directions for all the High Court. Here's what happened. 4 criminal appeals were pending before the Jharkhand High Court. The hearings had already concluded, arguments were complete, but the judgment that was reserved between January and June 2022. And despite that, even years later, the decisions were still not pronounced. Meanwhile, some of the appellants had already spent more than a decade in custody, including pre-trial detention. Naturally, the matter reached the Supreme Court. But instead of treating this as an isolated issue of reserved judgments alone, the Supreme Court expanded the scope of this broader problem, that is, delay in the post-hearing stage of proceedings. It directed all high courts to submit data on cases where judgments had been reserved on or before 31st January 2025 and were still pending. And what came out of this exercise was concerning enough for the court to step in with uniform directions. The bench of Justice Suryakant and Justice Joy Malia Bakshi laid down comprehensive procedural guidelines to address this issue. First, reserved judgments should ordinarily be pronounced within a maximum of 3 months from the date of reservation. Second, matters involving personal liberty like bail, anticipatory bail, and criminal appeals of convicts in custody must be treated with urgency. In bail matters, if judgment is reserved, it should preferably be announced the same day or at latest the next day. Third, once a judgment is pronounced, it must be uploaded on the High Court website within 24 hours. But the court didn't stop there. It also created accountability mechanism. If a judgment or order in the post-hearing stage is not delivered within 3 months, it must be brought to the attention of the Chief Justice of the High Court. If the delay continues, the case can even be reassigned to another bench for fresh hearing. It also addressed delays in uploading judgments even after pronouncement of the operative part in open court, bringing this stage within a defined time-bound framework. In effect, the Supreme Court has converted an earlier undefined post-hearing phase into a structured system with clear timelines, reporting requirements, and institutional accountability. For lakhs of ordinary people across India, this judgment could change what waiting for justice looks like. For more such legal updates, follow STC Times.